You're listening to the Erica and McAfee podcast, a faith-based podcast for Black women and women of color to share stories of grief and loss due to miscarriage, infant loss, stillbirth, with journeys of trying to conceive and infertility. Welcome to episode 24 of the Erica and McAfee podcast. Today's podcast is brought to you by my friends at Audible. Get a free audiobook download and 30-day free trial at www.audibletrial.com/Erica. Can marriage survive the loss of a child? Losing a child is the hardest thing a couple can go through. In fact, 80% of marriages end in divorce after the loss of a child. So for the month of December, we are highlighting and sharing stories of 4 couples and how their marriages not only survived the loss of a child, but in today's episode, we have the Warrens. Ivori and Kevin Warren have been married for 16 years and are the mommy and daddy to an angel born in heaven on August 21st, 2017. Ivori is a creative entrepreneur and many times have some bright ideas, one of which is the Loving Our Angel blog. The blog is their personal journal about her and her hubby's journey to healing. Loving Our Angel is also a new initiative that has been added to their nonprofit foundation to increase pregnancy and infant loss awareness. As a very private person, it wasn't her initial thought to be so transparent, but as God did when she was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes in February 2012, He is leading her to be transparent about their loss. Ivori holds degrees in both psychology and human resources management and is currently working toward a doctoral degree in higher education. She is also a mompreneur, creative director of Ivori Nicole Events, professor, author, speaker, mentor, chief operating officer of the Warren Community Cares Foundation, and an active member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. Kevin holds degrees in both information systems and science and information assurance, and is currently working towards a doctoral degree in applied information systems management. He is a United States Army vet, Chief Executive Officer of the Warren Community Cares Foundation, and active member of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. They both reside in Northern Maryland with their 2 fur babies, Cole and Chloe. Here are the Warrens. Thank you, Ivori and Kevin, for being a part of the podcast.
Thank you for having us.
No problem. So tell us about yourselves and what you do.
So, that's a good question. The question, I guess, should be what is it that I don't do? So, I am a full-time doctorate student. Mm-hmm. Fingers crossed that I'm graduating next December. I'm also an adjunct professor, a program coordinator with a local community college that partners with a local historically Black college and university. And then I'm also an event planner. So I have my own business, and I've been in the event planning business for about 15 years. So I am an expert in my area.
Awesome. And I'm an Army vet. Currently, I do information security for the federal government here in Baltimore.
Let's go into your loss story. So tell me about your loss.
Okay, so let's start from the beginning. So we've been married for 16 years. Celebrated our 16th anniversary this past May. Okay. And been together for 19 years. Why am I doing all the talking? But that's okay. But been together for 19 years. But since being married, have always been told that we need to see a fertility specialist in order to become pregnant. Gone through it a couple of times, saw a fertility specialist, got scared off. Life's in the way, but I guess something that it never left me that I wanted to do. But again, I'm just focusing on life and school, and that's what happened. You want to tell your part?
And for me, I don't know what it was, but for this year, it hit me harder during Father's Day. Like I said, been together 19 years, married 16. And for some reason, this Father's Day, I had accepted the fact that, I just wasn't going to be a father. So, I determined that I was going to leave my legacy to my nephew. So it was a big blow. especially coming from a man's side where I didn't know what to expect.
Right.
So one day your wife is pregnant, then a couple weeks later she's going through this event, and like I expressed to her, I felt helpless because I was just on the outside looking in. It was like really nothing I could do, and it was just a worse feeling, not taken away from the mother, but just a worse feeling for the father to just sit there. It's nothing you can do but hold her and hug her and tell her it's going to be all right.
Eventually.
Mm-hmm.
So bringing us, him facing or feeling that he was giving up in June, we went to Disney World in July for his fraternity's conference. And Magic Kingdom's magic. So we come back home, not knowing that we went down 2, came back 3, came back home, and of course, Flo didn't show up. And I'm like, okay, this is a joke. And then came up, I think we had gotten into an argument about something, and I took a pregnancy test, and it came up negative, and I guess me being impatient, didn't wait long enough, and my joke is that he rumbles through the garbage. And so he went into the garbage.
Well, before we get started, the garbage piece came in. I went on her side of the bed she told me she took a pregnancy test. I went on her side of the bed to get her charger so I can charge my phone. Mm-hmm. And I just have to look up and I see prenatal vitamins. So, me being a man, all I saw was natal. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I went to the trash can and it came up with the line. And of course, me being a man, I didn't know how to read it. So I'm Googling like what the positive tests have. So I think.
So he did all of that. But meanwhile, I was taking prenatal vitamins because I wanted my hair to grow. So it had nothing to do actually with the baby. I just wanted.
But it's a good vitamin, right?
Right. So that's just what I wanted. Talking to my girlfriend, just had lunch with her. This is what I'm going to do. And like I said, I took the test. I waited for what felt like 5 minutes, trashed it. And he was out, and he happened to send me a text and said, "Are you pregnant?" And I went off on a tangent telling him no, didn't he listen to what I said. And he sent me a picture of the pregnancy test. He says, "Well, I have degrees, but I don't know what this says." And I just looked at it. My older sister is an RN. So she told me to retest first thing in the morning. Mm-hmm. And as soon as I did, it came up positive. It felt like it didn't even take a second. Mm-hmm. I woke him up. I think I might have thrown it at him. And then we were
That's how you woke me up.
And I think for the first couple days, we were in shock. With some explicit words that was said because we just couldn't believe it. We were going to be somebody's parents. And then we enjoyed it. I mean, we went to Babies R Us first week. How we were going to tell our moms. How we were going to tell our friends and family. Mm-hmm. I'd already picked out. That was in August, so we went to Richmond for the weekend. His fraternity had a meeting. Went to Pottery Barn Kids, picked out the furniture.
Don't forget about the insurance. Huh?
Oh, I'm sorry. He was so excited he calls the insurance company to add the baby to the insurance. But I wasn't quite sure who he was adding with no baby, no birth certificate. So, I mean, more excited than me, I think. Right. Looking up schools, and I'm like, wait, what? I'm just looking at furniture, and I get to decorate and buy stuff.
I had the college plan all planned out.
He had everything.
Awesome.
So we fast forward, find out we were 6 weeks. Of course, made appointments for everything, and then went to when we were in Richmond. On the way down, had some terrible cramping, but no blood. I just passed it off. Came back home, and that Sunday was some spotting, and then that following Monday, and I'll never forget, it was August 21st. That was the first day of the semester, so not just for my students, and I was teaching that particular day, but also for myself, because I'm in school as well. But I couldn't, I had to go to school and teach. I couldn't, miss class, and I am there for my students, regardless of if I'm sick, not feeling well, whatever. And my husband drove me. Waiting for a doctor to call. He never called. And just to fast forward everything, going to the doctor's appointments, going to the ER, and it was false hope. It was, okay, I know what's going on with my body, although I've never experienced this. And I hope that I'm wrong. Whereas Kevin was being optimistic and trying to keep me calm, which, of course, I'm a nervous wreck. That wasn't helping. And I already knew, I had an idea, let me say, before it was confirmed. And that, like I said, August 21st triggered everything. So it was a month and a half of just you name it, body, just everything, nerves, and my doctor called and just very frank and to the point of, yeah, you're miscarriaging. And okay. And that's our story. That's how it happened. So everything was done naturally. No DNC, no medicine, no medication. Because I am 40. So Kevin's 43 and I'm 40. So of course being high risk as I am a type 2 diabetic. Mm-hmm. And so going through all of that. So it's been a whirlwind. I have learned that it's okay that I'm not okay. Because in my mind, it was supposed to be, okay, it happened. Let me go to work. Let me keep it going. And then God sat me down and said, no, you're going to face this. So every time I try to run, he sits me down.
Right.
So, very long story, but that's our lost story.
No, I understand. So how did the loss impact you all individually?
Oh, God.
Me, I'm not going to say I'm tough of the tough, but, I've been always taught to walk things off, shake things off. So, I guess I can be honest with her because she did call my bluff many times. It's hard. And like I said earlier, I really feel as though I can't really grieve properly because I'm busy making sure she's all right, and I don't want to set her off. It's like little things that set me off. But, I suck it up, I tough it up, and I just keep moving, or I just, as a Aquarius man, I just shut down and like just try to get past it, move past it.
Mm-hmm.
For me, and of course, I know when Kevin's lying, and I'll pull his card of, he'll go hang out in the basement, or if I'm upset and he'll hug me real tight and won't let me go, then I know he's upset. The wind can blow. It doesn't have to be anything that he says or does. The wind can blow, and just all of a sudden, it'll affect me. I think that, going on in life of, okay, I'm going to get this doctorate degree, or okay, I'm working on this program, or I have this wedding to do, or I want to be on television, and just focusing on life. The pregnancy made me prioritize, and not that my family was never priority, but now it's, in a minute, things change. So my diabetes was uncontrolled because, all right, I can do what I want. What am I going to do? And as soon as I found out I was pregnant, I was like, oh no, I need an insulin pump. I need this glucose monitor. I need everything. And just flipped. And so it was no longer about me. And so part of me was dealing, coping, healing, not knowing what I'm doing some days and how I'm functioning, is mad at my body and mad that I wasn't able to protect my baby and not even able to protect my husband from feeling upset. So while he's trying to protect me, I'm trying to protect him at the same time. So I think sometimes, and I've said it on Instagram on my page of Loving Our Angel, and on the blog that I created to help us through this journey, that sometimes I think wasn't a good idea, but I have bright ideas sometimes. That, I'm just not okay. Mm-hmm. And I think, just take it one day at a time. So that's really in a nutshell. Only thing I can do is just deal.
So how has it impacted your relationship?
I think we've gotten closer.
Mm-hmm.
Would you agree or not?
I mean, I agree. I didn't. I agree.
Now, what were you going to say?
I mean, I didn't. When you say closer, I always thought we were close before it happened. But I got you. I agree.
So there's a difference. So typically when things happen we both shut down. So when I say become closer, it's the fact that neither one of us shut down, and we both came together with what was going on, dealing with it together. At the same time, friends that I thought were friends and BFFs have disappeared. But I knew at the end of the day that that's a whole different podcast.
Oh, yeah, it is.
The silence is deafening, and so that's a whole different podcast. But I found that, knowing that he was always there to support me, but this has been something different that he understands. So he truly understands, what I'm going through. So while he feels that we were always close, I think this drew us closer. Whereas I know some couples, it can break them down and tear apart, and they shut down and they don't know how to open up. Whereas I won't let him shut down because I'll keep pushing him in or tell him, I know what's wrong with you. I know what you're doing.
Right. So how was your faith throughout this journey? And since you've been on this grief journey, how has your faith been impacted?
There really hasn't been, on my side, hasn't been a major impact. I prayed for us every day. I was disappointed, but, I was raised to always trust in God. Things happen for a reason. And like I said, I'm from the country, so, I was raised that, once your mission on earth is complete, you transition. So I tried to swing it that, maybe our baby's mission on earth was to let us know that it's not in our time, it's in God's time. So like she mentioned earlier, we were told we had to go need this specialist, need to go through this treatment and that treatment. And here we are just hanging out with Mickey and Minnie and it just happens.
Yeah.
For me, I think at first I was going back and forth, knowing that I needed. There's been a couple of things that have gone on in my life of, walking away from a federal government job and a whole bunch of other things that have happened, and why I'm still in this doctoral program. That's another thing too. But I think through this, I went through at first of why did he do this? It was wavering for a minute. I was on a seesaw of why did he do this? What kind of joke is this? This is not funny. Why give me what he knew I wanted but take it away? But I think that what has happened is that it's actually making me stronger at the same time. So knowing that, of course, God wouldn't play a cruel joke. Maybe like Kevin said, it was a wake-up call of, Ivory, this is what you need to do. I'm putting you all on this path. But in order to carry a healthy baby, I need you to get your diabetes in order because I'm going to be high risk because of my age. And I am high risk because I'm a type 2 diabetic. So I need you to get these things in order. Also, a wake-up call of I need to slow down on some things and what is my priority. So what I've tried to do is take the opportunity that he gave us to be parents, if only for 7 weeks, but to prepare for whatever he could be moving us forward. I mean, there have been a couple of times in sermons of going to church or talking to people, we get this double blessing thing and twins and all this other stuff. Kevin might run away, but I'm looking forward to it. Twins running my family.
I don't think Kevin's running away. He's going straight back to the insurance company.
I don't know now. I don't know. He's talking about he's going to sell one of them to a family because he can't take, especially if it's 2 girls. I'm looking forward to it. But no, being serious, I think that it hurts, and it's right. What I tell people is that indescribable pain and hurt. I think that he's preparing us for something better, and that's to the point of where I had to get, because I was at first of why, and I'm praying and I'm crying. I don't think I've ever prayed so much in my life, and I'm like, well, why would you do this? And this is a cruel joke, but when I think back at it and like, why are you testing me again? There's a reason for it at the same time. Not knowing what it is right now. But I think that's even drawing me closer to him. as well. And through this journey, I've attended my church since, over 20 years. And we both actually rejoined and did the new members class. So I think, things happen for a reason. And again, us not knowing, but I think that it's brought us closer to God as well.
The holiday season is here, and there's no need to go anywhere else to shop for your sister-in-law's lost mom, dad, or family member. Visit ericandmcafee.com/shop for your ultimate holiday shopping guide for lost moms and families. There you will find personalized gifts, Christmas ornaments, jewelry, t-shirts, and other inspirational gifts curated for those who may have recently experienced the loss or this holiday season is just particularly difficult for them. Visit ericandmcafee.com/shop to shop for your lost mom and family. So let's talk about your blog, Loving Our Angel, and what inspired you to start that?
Good question. So as he fluttered his eyes and laughing, I've been told that I can't do anything anymore without passing it through him. So as I shared before, I'm an event planner. So sometimes I have some bright ideas. And one of the things that's helped me at the beginning stages, even before my doctor confirmed it was a miscarriage, is I started a journal. Mm-hmm. And I started writing, even if it was cuss words, even if it was one word, even if it was how I felt, empty, or day by day of what I was going through and experiencing and friends falling off. It was helping me. And I even told Kevin, hey, you can write in it. I didn't care, but it was helping me to express it, how I felt and how I was going through. And I don't know how I went through each day. Besides watching, we stayed home for a couple of weeks, and which Lifetime was our friend. Lifetime movies. And so I started it because I had this bright idea that perhaps if I can help just one person of what they're going through, then I've done my job. Mm-hmm. And so because of that, I decided to still keeping the journal, but making the journal and putting it online. And I contacted one of my good friends who was a graphic designer, and I asked her to work on this project for me, and not knowing that she had experienced the same thing. And so that brought us closer together as well. And I was like, I just want to help people. I just want people to understand. Kevin and I, by nature, are both off the charts introverts. Mm-hmm. We stayed ourselves, so this has really put us more of in a bubble, and we're very private. Mm-hmm. But for me, I needed to get this out, because what I realized, even with starting my Loving Our Angel Instagram page, which started out as Baby Warren because we were pregnant and not, that was just what I was doing, is just looking at pictures and things like that, but then seeing that I'm not by myself. Mm-hmm. I'm a member of a sorority because I joined one, but then this one because God made me a part of it. Mm-hmm. That I say no woman should be a part of, no man should be in this fraternity. But I started it because I wanted other people to notice that they're not alone. Mm-hmm. I wanted other people to know people's real struggles, even though friends I have, sorority sisters that I have that think that I'm strong. And while I may appear to be, I'm broke right now, and I can admit that. But what's also important is giving dads a voice. And I'm always for giving dads a voice, giving men a voice, even with my event planning company and having a service for just grooms. It's always important because they don't suffer alone. They're in the background, yes, but I think that he's right by my side. Mm-hmm. And my joke with Kevin is I'm very serious, and he'll never admit it, is that he's actually hurting more than me. Mm-hmm. But he'll never admit that. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to give a voice to men. I wanted to give a voice to us, who's a part of it. And just, that's why I did it. So not for sympathy, but it's for understanding. And as an educator by trade, I wanted people to understand that it's okay. It's for, regardless of the stage in the pregnancy or after, it's still a baby. Because to a woman, as soon as that pregnancy test comes up positive, that's it. Mm-hmm. Doesn't matter the stage. That's my baby that's gone. And I want more people to understand that. It doesn't matter. So that's, for me, it's an educational piece. It's a place of healing. It's a place for me to vent. It's my place and a place for other men and mommies and daddies to vent and have a refuge.
Because this has helped me also learn, because when I was young, I had family members who went through this. I had friends who went through this. And my young mind was, okay, you can always start working on making another one. But when you actually go through this, you realize, like she said, it's not that easy, as said. And it's because I didn't understand. Mm-hmm. I understand now. And luckily, I was young, but I was smart enough to keep my mouth shut. Mm-hmm. That's some things that I'm realizing now, that some people don't know what to say. Mm-hmm. And it's to the point where I can't lash out. I just have to interject before Ivory interjects. Right. So, so I'm always on guard, we bought some items and people asking questions. So I'll interject, just before she gets started, because, it'll be ugly. It's just like, she changed my profile picture. And like she said, I'm very private. And if you look at my Facebook, I'm always laughing, I'm always joking, I'm always posting videos. But you really don't know what's going on, as we coined it, in Camp Warren. So she changed my profile pic. I saw where I didn't like it at first, because, like I said, I'm not shy, but I'm a private person. But then I'm seeing all these people like, me too, this happened to us. I'm like, wow. So I always told her she had a gift of transparency and bringing out. It first started with her diabetes, then now with this unfortunate incident, as I call it.
We can call it what it is. It's the M word that you don't want to say. It's the miscarriage.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But, it's something where it's a team sport, but like I said, I still feel as though I'm on the outside. I'm just a supporting cast, just making sure that she's all right. She has everything she needs, and she'll work. I know some of the stories that was posted of how it broke that marriage up actually made me more upset. I'm like, how could a guy do that? That's that low down scoundrel. Mm-hmm. But it happens. Mm-hmm. But like I was telling her, I was like, I honor my vows, for better, for worse, in sickness and health. If we can't have kids, which I thought before, then that was just the cards that were dealt. And we just keep moving. But once the blessing came into our life, and we, things have changed, but my love for her hasn't changed. Mm-hmm. This is an unfortunate event, if I will. Yeah. It's an unfortunate event. But like the little inside joke is, we will be okay. A little dramatic pause eventually. It's day by day, hour by hour, minute by minute.
In my words.
Awesome. Y'all are funny. Y'all vibe off each other very well. So this is awesome. And it's the reason why I wanted to have couples on the podcast, couples that have remained strong, have gone through this journey and come out victorious, come out on the other side stronger together. So I'm happy that both of you all have expressed that. So what is the one thing you've learned the most about your relationship since your loss?
I'm married to a big baby. A big, Army man that can share and express his feelings. He's more protective of me. So we just came back from Jamaica. And I had, again, another bright idea, which was today's post, of leaving a piece of our heart in Jamaica. And I had worked with the florist and had her make a wreath. Mm-hmm. Say some prayers and send it out to sea, and they delivered it to the room, and I'm looking at it, it's beautiful, blah, blah, blah. And he skirts past it, and we're in a hotel room, so you can't move, but so much you see it. And I happened to sit on the bed, and then all of a sudden I looked at it, and all I could do was just yell out, why did I do that? And he just starts laughing. He's like, because it was a bright idea at the time. And he was like, you can't do anything else. Just nothing else.
She's banned from planning.
You know, for me, it was therapeutic, although I had a couple of moments.
Mm-hmm.
But what I've seen is that, you know, I live with a man that protects his home. I live with a man that protected his country. But I live with a man who's a big baby, who has feelings, and then I can pull his card on it, and he lets me do that.
Mm-hmm.
A man that gives me space, a man that understands that, all right, the wind blew, nothing happened to her, but she's just in a moment right now, and I'm going to let her be.
Mm-hmm.
But when I had the breakdown, ugly cries, and we laughed, he was like, you know, with somebody with PTSD, you just can't start crying all of a sudden. I need to know what's going on.
Right.
So loud outbursts that come from nowhere. But he's right there every step of the way. He hasn't wavered. I know I've gotten on his nerves, and I didn't need anything from Peanut Gallery. But I think that's what's really helped support me. Especially on days, like I said, I'm on autopilot. I don't know how I'm functioning,
Mm-hmm.
And that's what has helped me. Even to be honest, be very candid. When we found out, it was confirmed it was a miscarriage, and we had to go to the doctor's office. On the way back home, I told him, I was like, "Well, you can have another woman, and you just have another kid." And he just looked at me like, "Are you playing?" I was like, "I'm serious. I'm 40. I know it's going to be high risk. Now I got to go to a fertility specialist, everything involved." And seeing the look on this man's face when I was pregnant and seeing how excited he was, and then it was taken away from him, just hurt me to the core.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, he had to talk to me for a moment because I was dead serious. No, you go right ahead. This is nothing was wrong with me. This is coming from the heart. I wasn't joking. But then I had to take a step back of, you know, he wouldn't do it because then we had some other conversations when I came to.
Right.
But did you want to share, or did I share enough about how our relationship?
You got it covered.
Awesome.
That you're a strong man. Well, I'm a strong woman. The lies I tell.
No, you are outside. You're tough. That's one thing I learned. Well, I already knew. You know, she was a little softy, but you know, she has this tough girl persona.
Mm-hmm.
But like I always say, like she's just like a piece of chewy gum, just nice and squishy.
Geez. Can I be a cute marshmallow?
I mean, you have this hard exterior, but you know, this has brought out your vulnerable side where I've told you for years it's okay, you know, to be soft. You don't have to be hard all the time, you know.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
No problem.
Yeah, that's so funny.
But thugs don't cry, and I'm a pretty girl thug.
Right.
So.
I'm right there with you.
Right.
Oh, man. Y'all are so
she can't
funny.
Be a thug. She's getting crickets.
It was so cute. So, lastly, what encouraging words can you give to the other couples who have experienced the loss?
Very simple. It's 1 second, 1 minute, 1 hour, 1 day at a time. You can't rush it. You can't rush the grieving process. You can't rush the healing. You can't rush any of it. You got to sit in it. You got to face it. It's not easy. You'll have moments of, I had moments that I didn't want to smile. All I could do was cry. I just wanted my baby, and I would yell that out. But it's, as Kevin says, you know, we'll be okay eventually.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the biggest thing, of being there for one another, understanding when she has an outburst of crying or she's upset, or, you know, I was in church one Sunday and turned around and saw a baby and I just automatically sat down and I couldn't take it anymore. Understanding why, you know, you might not be able to go around babies or baby showers or friends or whatever, and just giving each other, both the mom and dad, that space to grieve, and to be there for one another, you know, whatever it is. And that's what's been, I think that's helped us, and what's been very important is that I've learned that, you know, I've been raised by 2 tough women, and it was you get over it and you keep it moving. And I tried that, and I was sat on my butt. And that's just to sit in it, and it's okay. It's all right.
My takeaway would be, for the men, it's okay to feel how you feel. Like I said, most men, we are raised to provide and protect, and being vulnerable is just not in our vocabulary. But in this instance, it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to cry and get it out your system. You're not okay. You're just moving forward. Like we said before, the theme has been 1 hour, 1 day, 1 hour, 1 minute at a time, and just get through it and just focus on your wife, giving her everything she needs, making sure that she's safe, she's comfortable, and as happy as she can be in that moment. God will bless you, and this is just an unfortunate event in a lifetime that you two must share together. It is not that's her problem. It's not that's your problem. It's something that you share together as a couple, as a family. Keep every outside, and just focus inward on your internal family, and just build each other up from there.
Awesome. So where can we find you on social?
Sure. So we're Loving Our Angel on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, and lovingourangel.com. So we would love, even if there's some moms and dads that want to share their journey, by all means, I welcome guest posts. There's some times that I struggle every week, not sometimes, every week. But we are, like I said, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, and also on the web at Loving Our Angel.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ivori and Kevin, for sharing your story.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, thanks for having us.
Thank you for listening to today's episode of the Erica M. McAfee podcast. I pray that this episode was inspirational and a blessing to you. For show notes of today's episode, visit ericandmcafee.com/podcast episodes. We now have a Facebook group. Please join the Sisters in Loss community on Facebook by going to ericandmcafee.com/community to join in the discussion. This community is for you, the listeners of the Erica and McAfee podcast, and it's for us to dive deeper in discussion of the episodes. We're going to chat with some of the episode guests and discuss questions around grief, loss, marriage, faith, and love. If this group is for you, please visit ericandmcafee.com/community to join. I am also launching my Trying Again Grief Coaching Service. This is for those who are trying to conceive after a loss and are looking for that emotional and spiritual support going through that journey. I have 3 open slots available for coaching. So if this is of interest to you, please visit ericandmcafee.com/coaching and sign up for a discovery call with me. I look forward to helping you all through your grief journey and your pregnancy after loss journey. Please do not forget to subscribe, rate, and review the Erica M. McAfee podcast, especially if you're listening in iTunes. Keep the faith, and I will talk to you next Wednesday.